Good morning, grade 4. How are you today? We're gonna continue lesson 5.8, part 2. I ask you to review part 1. Then I ask you to copy everything on your copybooks. "65 divided by 5. So if you want to do the long division, you write the 5, which is the divisor on the left, the sign of the division, and on the right, the dividend 65. 11 divided by 2 equal 5 or 1. 11 is called dividend, 2 is called divisor, 5 is called quotient, 1 is called remainder. So now, if you want to do the long division, 2 will be on the left, which is the divisor. 11 will be on the right, which is the dividend. The quotient 5 will be above the dividend, and below, at the end, the remainder. To remind, so the steps of the division. Step 1, you have to divide. Step 2, you have to multiply. Step 3, you have to subtract. And step 4, you have to bring down. Now we have 894 divided by 3. You take the 8. You ask 3 times how many equal 8? 3 times 2. So you put 2 above the 8. Equal 6. 8 minus 6 equal 2. Now you bring down the 9. So you ask 3 times how many equal 29? 3 times 9. You put the 9 above the 9. So 3 times 9 you multiply equal 27. Now you subtract 29 minus 27 equal 2. You bring down the 4. So you have 24. You ask 3 times how many equal 24? 3 times 8. You put the 8 above the 4. So 3 times 8 equals 24. Now you subtract 24 minus 24 equals 0. So the remainder is 0. Let's take example 1. 649 divided by 9. All you have to do is to bring down the 6. So you ask 9 times how many equals 6? 9 times 0 equals 0. You put the 0 above the 6. Now 9 times 0, 0. So you subtract 6 minus 0 equals 6. You bring down the 4. So you have 64. Now you ask 9 times how many equals 64? 9 times 7 equals 63. So you put the 7 above the 4 in the 10th place. Now you subtract 64 minus 63 equal 1. Now you bring down the 9. So you have 19. You ask 9 times how many equal 19? 9 times 2. You put the 2 above the 9. So you do 9 times 2 equal 18. Now you subtract 19 minus 18 equal 1. 1 is the leftover, the remainder. So the quotient is 72 and the remainder is 1. Now example 2. 452 divided by 7. Step 1 in red, how many times? So you ask how many times. Step 2 in green, you have to multiply. Step 3 in blue, you have to subtract. Step 4 in purple, you have to drop it down. Now 452 divided by 7. You take the 4. You ask 7 times how many equal 4? 7 times 0. So you put this 0 in red color above the 4. So 7 times 0 you multiply. In red color and green color you put the answer 0. Now you subtract 4 minus 0 equal 4 in the blue color. Then you bring down the 5 in purple color. 45. Now, you ask 7 times how many equal 45? 7 times 6, so 6 above the 5. 7 times 6 equal 42. You multiply 7 times 6. You put 42 under the 45. Now you subtract in the blue color. 45 minus 42 equal 3. Now you drop it down the 2, so 32. Now you repeat the steps. How many times? So 7 times how many equal 32? 7 times 4. You put the 4 above the 2. 7 times 4 equals 28. Now you have to subtract 32 minus 28 equals 4. This is the remainder. So the answer is 64 or 4. Example 3. 100 divided by 4. The divisor is in the left. The dividend 100 is in the right. Now you start. 4 times how many equal 1? 4 times 0. So you put the 0 above the 1. Now you multiply. 4 times 0 equals 0 in the blue color. You put the 0 under the 1. Now you subtract. 1 minus 0 equal 1. Now in the yellow color you drop down the 0. So 10. Now you have to ask 4 times how many equal 10? 4 times 2. You put the 2 above the first 0. So now 4 times 2 equal 8. Now we subtract. 10 minus 8 equal 2. Now you bring down the second 0. So 20. You ask 4 times how many equal 20? 4 times 5. You put the 5 above the second 0. Now you multiply. 4 times 5 equals 20 in the blue color. Now you subtract. 20 minus 20 equals 0. So the remainder is 0. So 100 divided by 4 equals 25. Homework. Do page 297 from number 5 to number 12. Page 299 from number 1 to number 8. And page 300, number 14 and 15. Thank you.